There's a story I remember very well about a time in my life that really had a big impact, and I hope that I can always be this type of person. But there's a good friend of mine named Oommen George, and I call this story Converting an Oommen. I visited the campus at Central Oklahoma State almost every single day. I was wanting to start a campus ministry from scratch. And I went there day after day, and I talked to a lot of different people, and it seemed like just no one was interested in coming to my Bible study. No one was interested in sitting down with me and talking about Jesus. And I guess I'd get pretty discouraged after a while. And this one particular day, I was driving back home and was going to have dinner with my family. Before I got home, I stopped at the gas station, and there's a self-service gas station. And I filled up my tank with gas, and I went to the little booth where you pay the man, and there was a man sitting inside. It was a little bitty booth. There's a little hole down below the plexiglass, and I'd have to bend down and talk to him through that hole. But I gave him the payment, but I said, I'm just going to invite him to see what he says. And I said, pardon me, my name is Preston, what's yours? And he says, my name is Oommen. I said, Oommen, would you like to come to a Bible study I'm starting up on campus over at Central Oklahoma State? He goes, I don't know, maybe. And, I was so excited because normally somebody says maybe, just doesn't come. But that was the best response I'd gotten in a couple of weeks. And I was just so excited. So I determined that I needed gas very regularly. When my tank was just even half full, I would stop there and I would talk to Oommen again. I'd say, hey, Oommen, I was wondering, my Bible study is this coming Thursday at noon. Can you come? He says, I'll try. But, sure enough, Thursday would come and go, and he wouldn't come. But he did make the mistake of telling me where he lived. And he lived in one of the dormitories there on campus. So I purposely went over there, knocked on his door, and said, Oommen, remember me? I'm the guy from the gas station we met, and you said that you might come to my Bible study sometime. So anyway, I was just trying to start a conversation, just trying to find anything that we had in common. And I noticed that he had a tennis racket hanging on the dorm wall there, and I said, hey, do you like tennis? I love to play tennis. He says, no, it's my roommates. And I said, oh, okay. And I looked there, and I saw some weights on the ground, and I like to lift weights every once in a while. I said, hey, do you lift weights? Maybe we can do that together. And he says, no, that's my roommates too. And I said, well, Oommen, what do you like to do? And he says, well, I like to play soccer. I've never played soccer in my life. I don't even know how it works. But I said, well, when do you play? And he says, well, actually, we're having an intramural game, this coming Saturday morning. And so I said, I'm going to try to be there. I went home and I told Sandy, I said, Sandy, if it's okay, I want to take you and Christy, my little baby girl is just a year old. I said, and I want us to cheer for Oommen in his intramural soccer game. Sure enough, we show up. We're the only people there. It's an intramural game, and there's no fans. But we were the only people there, and we were cheering for Oommen. Go Oommen, you can do it, And it was just so funny because I think he was really tickled that we came. And, he's got some fans there. Matter of fact, in that game, he actually slipped and fell and broke his arm in the game. So that was unfortunate. But it wasn't too long after that, maybe a month or two, that I was still kind of trying to build this friendship with Oommen. And he kept saying he'd come, but probably never came. But I said, Oommen, my daughter is having her first birthday. It was November the 1st, 1984. And I said, I'd like for you to come to her birthday party. And it just so happened that particular year, Thanksgiving fell on her birthday. And so I said, we're going to celebrate Thanksgiving. My mother and my brother and other family members will be there. And it'd be real special if you could come and celebrate Thanksgiving with us and celebrate Christy's birthday party. And he says, I'll come. That sounds good. So sure enough, the party came. He knocked on the door. I opened the door, and there was Oommen in a suit. I mean, he dressed up, so nice. And, the rest of us, we were just super casual. I was probably wearing shorts and a T-shirt or something, but he came on in. He had never been in an American Thanksgiving before, and he didn't know what to expect, but he wore his best. And that was such a special time. I still remember us sitting around the table, and Oommen was there. We had another foreign student sitting there with us. And that was a very, very special time, because that is the day that I really believe that Oommen's heart changed. You see, later he told me that he had never been invited into the home of an American before. He had been in the United States for 3 or 4 years. He's of Indian descent, and he just never had been invited into someone's home. And I think just the fact that we reached out to him, the fact that we invited him into our home, made all the difference. As a matter of fact, from that point on, I don't think Oommen missed a church service. He started coming to church with us. He started studying the Bible. And it wasn't too long after that that I had the privilege of baptizing Oommen into Christ. You know, Oommen is just doing phenomenal. He found a phenomenal Christian Indian woman. They actually planted several churches in India. He went into full-time ministry, and even today he serves in full-time ministry in Grand Rapids, Michigan. But that's my story, and I got to go back and remind myself of what it took to convert an Oommen. And that's basically just being a good friend. Being a good friend and letting them know that you care.